Welcome one and all. I love science. I may not be a witch, but here I am. I am the Science Witch, and welcome to another Ship Headcanons video. And this week we are covering the ship McHanzo from the game Overwatch. Now, before we get started on the actual headcanons, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to be discussing my recommendation for fanfiction first of all, because my phone is charging on my bed and I want to have that get charged so I can look through my headcanons and so we can do this properly. The fanfic I'm going to be recommending is one that is very well known through the McHanzo community. And if you like McHanzo and are an avid McHanzo reader or fan, then you'll know what I'm talking about. And the fanfiction is called Hang the Fool. Now, since I don't have my phone on me, I don't know who the author is. I'll put his or her name down here, and I'll put a link in the description to the archive of our own, just a link to the fanfiction in general. It's, oh my god, I love this fanfiction. In the last video, I mentioned Magic McCree, and in that I said that it's really funny, characters are portrayed really well, and other things like that. I gave it all the praise I possibly could. And now I'm going to do the same for this, except this one, it pretty much tells the story of Overwatch getting back together slowly but surely. Everyone's being recruited and stuff, and Hanzo and McCree get off on the wrong foot at first, really badly. Like, yikes! Their first interaction was like horrible. It feels so bad. But Hanzo being a little bitch, McCree being a flirt and stubborn and just top notch, they slowly grow fond of one another, and bing bada boom, it happens, and they pretty much get together. But just I can't talk about it more without spoiling it. I do recommend that if you're going to read this, it is advisable to be at least interested in Overwatch, like the game itself, not just McHanzo. Because that would make then the battle sequences and the side plots and everything might be kind of boring, and you may not understand a lot of the lore, which, I mean, I don't, but I'm slowly gaining things as I go along. But, oh my god, the characters are literally top-notch written-wise. So good! Oh my god, like I said, Hanzo's a little bitch. McCree is the flirty / traumatically induced cowboy. Fucking diva. God, they're all just perfect. I love it. And like I said, I may not know all the characters, and not all the characters are in it just yet, but as for the main characters that are in the bunker, they're so good. 100% highly recommend. I assure you, definitely check it out, please, if you like Overwatch. And fair warning, there is smut in this fanfiction. I mean, but it's not necessarily an important part of the fanfiction, although it does get referenced throughout the, like, normal parts of the story. You could probably skip over the smut portions if you really don't want to read them. None of it's so far, none of it's graphic. It's rated mature, not explicit, so it's not graphic, but it definitely happens, and it's also implied in certain points. So, just figured I'd give you guys a fair warning about that. And, I'm gonna go grab my phone, and we'll get these headcanon things on the road, okay? Okay, it's not like you guys had a choice on saying yes or no. Actually, on second thought, I'll be right back. I think I need to find new ones, because the ones I'm looking at right now are getting a bit stale. I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that, folks. I've compiled a large list of new headcanons, so yay, fresh material! We're gonna start this off with a good one. Which one sexts like a straight white boy? For those of you who don't know, straight white boys are the worst at sexting or flirting. I mean, it's not like I have any experience other than what I've seen on the internet, but knowing a lot of straight guys and just being around straight guys at my school and everything, it's pretty bad. It's pretty cringeworthy. It's very obvious that's McCree. I mean, you cannot tell me that when these two get a hand on cellular devices, that McCree does not send dick pics. Why? I don't know. That just seems like a McCree thing to do. Like, if you've ever seen those fan art or those pictures of people who are just like, one person's at work and the other person just sends them a Snapchat of them like naked and it's just like, I miss you. Oh, lordy Lou. Jesus criminy. Hanzo. Poor Hanzo would have to suffer through that with McCree. Like, the poor guy. He probably gets so mad, but also so turned on at the same time, it's not even funny. And, oh boy, does McCree have hell to pay when they see each other the next time, because quality. Like, if they're stationed in different places for Overwatch type stuff, McCree would do that kind of stuff, because why the fuck not? Just, why the fuck not? Angst or fluff? Like that small girl in the old El Paso commercials? Why can't we have both? This ship has so much potential for both angst and for fluff. I almost said flust. There's so much potential for fluff and for angst. The material is so, especially for angst, the material is so prominent, and so there's just a large quantity of it. I mean, considering, as my friend Ethan pointed out to me, everyone has a tragic backstory or something different or slightly tragic about them, besides fucking Diva. But regardless, the amount of angst that these two have in their past, having lost or thought to have lost all their loved ones and family, it opens up the potential for a lot of hurt/comfort. So yeah, why can't we have both?
¿Por qué no los dos?
What were their first impressions of one another? Now this is going off of Hang the Fool for me, because, you know, as in my opinion, that's the most canon representation of them I've read so far. Hanzo's impression of McCree, what a fucking idiot. This guy is a total tool and is a cocky son of a bitch. You know, not in those kinds of words, because I don't think Hanzo talks like that. And then McCree is like, what a tight ass. Someone needs to get that bow out of his fucking ass. And that he's a little bitch. At first, they would not see eye to eye on anything, just like in the fanfiction. They got off on very wrong foot. Hanzo is so cold, like, oh my god. He's as cold as fucking ice. Man, you could kill someone with that glare. But, and the contrasting personalities and stuff would give them very bad first impressions of one another, but they turn out well in the end, obviously. Next we have who puts their cold hands or feet on their partner. That would be McCree, being he has his metal arm. So like, say if they're cuddling and, you know, metal arm goes on to Hanzo, and like Hanzo shivers, and and McCree's just like, oh, you're getting in the mood, and Hanzo's like, no, you idiot, your hand is cold. Like, oh god, it's so funny. But being that he has that metal appendage, I mean, there is a possibility that it is temperature regulated, but as that's never been canonical, I'm going to say that it's not. And poor Hanzo gets chills every once in a while when, you know, McCree puts his hand onto Hanzo or something like that. Lastly, we have who are their biggest shippers. In that case, I'd have to say there's three. There's three people who ship them hardcore. And those are Hana, or Diva, Lucio, and Genji. I mean, Hana and Lucio are internet people. I mean, Lucio makes music and everything. Hana's a fucking famous Korean gamer. So, they obviously have a lot of internet experience. So, being the generation this is all happening, shipping is definitely going to be a thing. And then Genji is very low-key about it, but makes snide comments towards McCree about Hanzo. And Lucio and Hana would be the ones to pick up on that first. But it would definitely mostly be Hana and Lucio. Eventually, one of them gets drunk and spills everything, and Hanzo and McCree get all flustered and everything, and it's just like, everyone's just like, guys, we know, you were fairly obvious with your flirtations. Like, boy, you ain't fooling anyone, okay? And that about wraps things up. This has been your ship analysis and headcanons video on McHanzo from Overwatch. Thanks for everyone who, voted on the poll on Twitter, who commented on the Instagram post I made, or the Twitter thing, or my Vine that I made about this, because I really wasn't sure what ship I was going to do. I was most likely going to do McHanzo anyway, but I just wanted to make sure what you guys wanted to see, and I'm really glad we got to do this. I'm really glad. I've actually learned quite a lot about Overwatch through doing all the research on this, so I'm happy about that, because now I get to have more conversations with my friends about Overwatch than I used to, because now I understand it a lot more. I mean, hey, I'm not complaining. I enjoyed doing research on this very, very much. So if you guys have any other ships you want me to do videos on, leave those down in the comments below, or tell me on any of my social media accounts that I also have listed down below, which are my Tumblr, Twitter, Instagram, and Vine. So you can check those out if you have a ship you want me to do a video on, or if you just want to see what kind of random shenanigans I am up to. So, thank you guys so much for taking your time to watch this video. If you enjoyed what you saw, take a stab at that like button to let me know, and I hope to see each and every one of you sometime in the very near future. Take care of yourselves, everyone. Bye!